watched Pumpkinhead.
Yay!
She fell asleep.
It fell asleep.
So I'm going to recap most of it. It's this is one of those 80s horror movies that I used to always see at the video store, and I never got around to seeing. I think because it looked too scary. And it's not actually a pumpkin in it. Well, there's pumpkins, but he doesn't actually have a pumpkin on his head. It's more of like a headless horseman type of thing. It was a weird shaped head. It was a demon, essentially.
Yeah.
But, so it's an 80s movie, but it takes place in the sticks, in like a hillbilly type of woods. Although the first part of the movie takes place in 1957.
Yeah, the movie is from 1988. Did you say that? And I didn't listen to it.
I said the
again.
80s.
88.
Yeah. So, it says the original score was by Richard Stone, which is a pretty sweet name. Dick Stone. Sticks as hard as a stone. And the movie was inspired by
Very
a
mature.
poem. The movie was inspired by a poem.
By a poem.
Yeah. No, I can't think of many horror movies like that are inspired by poetry, but I'd like to go read it.
By Pumpkinhead.
Yes, she has jack-o'-lantern pants. So there's a farmhouse. There's a guy running through the streets. There's a little boy, a young Eddie. He's worried about Daddy. Daddy's running away. No, Daddy is leaving the house. Then he comes back, and there's someone running through the woods because something's chasing him. He starts banging on the door to be let in. Daddy won't let him in. He says, "It has nothing to do with us. Leave here." And the boy is wondering why his dad is not letting someone in who needs help. He goes into his room, and he sees this demon killing the guy. This big monster. It's not really like a demon. This big white skeletal thing.
It's not white. It's a little bit orange.
I don't think so. So Daddy won't let him in, and the guy dies. And then the present. And we see a very grown-up, very ripped Ed.
Very dirty man.
Yeah, and he's Lance Henriksen, Bishop from the Aliens movies. Been in some other cool stuff too. And he's working around the farm with a flamethrower. And he helps his little son, this cute little kid with glasses. He helps him wash his hands.
With dirty water.
Yeah.
So the kid is super dirty.
Yeah.
And he takes him to a dirty water, like I don't know.
Like a bucket.
A bucket of dirty water.
Yeah.
And he cleans his hands with the dirty water. And I was like, that's what happens when the kid doesn't grow up with a mother around.
Yeah, and then he dries their hands with an also filthy towel.
Yeah, disgusting towel. I'm like, no, where's the mother? I think I wrote here, like, where's the mother?
Well, that's a theme in all the movies. There's always like one parent missing.
Yeah.
Although the boy, there was both parents, but eventually they both went missing.
Yeah.
Because they went swimming with rocks in their clothes. So they're hanging around the table. The son gives him a necklace, which is kind of creepy. It's like of this weird man on it. But it's nice. It's adorable. He made it. So he puts it around his neck. And then we cut to cool teens drinking and driving.
Yeah, but he promises him that he's never gonna take it off.
Yeah. And the cool teens are drinking and driving. They're city folk. They're coming out to the sticks to ride dirt bikes, drink beers, and have sex with their girlfriends. And
I hate like young people in groups. Not only in like movies, also in real life.
Yeah.
It's scary.
So if you guys are watching this and you're young and there's a bunch of you, she hates you.
No, I don't hate you, but it's.
You have to watch this alone and be slightly older.
Don't come over.
So
I'm scared.
And there's a bunch
They
of
usually
these teens.
kill someone.
I think they're all couples. There might be like one girl that's on her own. I don't know any of their names.
Yeah, but usually they kill someone. One of them is Ben.
Yeah, so the
brothers.
They pass a dirty woodsman like guy on the side of the road walking with his gun in the hands. We never see him again. It's just kind of like they know they're in the sticks. They know there's crazy weird hill people around here.
Where does it take place? Do we know? No.
I don't think we know. I don't know. I'm guessing like the hills of Tennessee or something. And so they pull up to this grocery store, this little grocery store, and that is where Harley, grown-up Eddie, and his son work. That's where he owns this little tiny store and sells provisions to the few people that live around there. And so they're still getting to the grocery store. But first, Ed and his son open up the store, and then a truck comes, another dirty old man wearing overalls.
Dirty air.
And a big back of his truck are filled with kids.
Very dirty kids.
His youngins. And they just wait outside, I guess to unload the groceries or something. And so they're sitting around out there, and they're interacting with his kid, with the little kid, Harley's son. And then the yuppie teens come up, and they're loitering outside there. They have dirt bikes. One of them is like, man, I gotta just start riding this dirt bike right now. So he takes it down, and he starts showboating around, and he's
and
speeding all over
his
the
friends
place.
are like, that's the brother of Ben, right? They're like two brothers, and he's there because of his brother, but they all hate him.
Yeah.
He's like rude, and he's disgusting, and he's very violent, and
Yeah. So he's the dick.
and his girlfriend is like, how do you say, like a woman that someone is beating her?
A woman that someone is bidding
Yeah,
her?
their husband or boyfriend is like.
Oh, and like abused wife?
Yeah.
Okay, you said beating. I thought you said bidding.
No, like. Yeah, you can tell. Like that's.
Yeah. So the dirty youngins,
Terrible.
they're there. They leave, but but Harley forgot to give something he was supposed to give to the old man. So he says, "I'll get it to you by the end of the day." So they leave, and then Billy is the little kid.
He's so cute.
And so he's out there with his dog, and then the dog starts chasing after the dirt bikes.
Oh no, wait. So the father said like, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave you here for a while.
You're in charge of the store, 6-year-old boy.
He's 6.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't think they're gonna be that
Especially
busy.
with a, like group of like teenagers that I would never
I think they already
trust.
bought their stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, but they're still there. I would
It's
never...
the 80s. Things are different.
Who lives just 6 years old kid like in charge in a supermarket?
Well, listen, these country folk are different.
I don't know.
And it's not really a supermarket.
Like okay, groceries.
It's like a. If you ever went to
I love the view.
a
Though.
football game as a little kid, in a little park, youth football game, they have concession stands. It was basically that, but you could walk in on the inside of it. And so Dad drives off and leaves Billy there. So he goes to chase after the dog that's running after the dirt bikes. And of course, you're thinking the dog's going to die or something. And then the dirt bikes come flying down the hill. They miss the dog, and the first dirt bike misses the kid, but the second one doesn't. It knocks him down, he smashes his head, and he's passed out. So everyone, like, there's a girl that's taking photos, and she comes over to call for help at the cabin. There's no phone in there, and the guy that hit him with the dirt bike just drives off. He's like, I'm getting out of here.
That's the disgusting man.
Yeah.
He also like
I
pushed his girlfriend
Steve,
first.
But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Steve. Yeah, but he pushed his girlfriend first before he went to the car because they told him like, no, don't run away. Like, he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Well,
Apparently he has some prior warrants for killing some other kids with a dirt bike or something. And so there's like the yuppie. He's
yeah,
like
but
the dick.
he claimed that he was drunk. That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's like, I had a few beers, blah, blah, blah. It
would
like,
look bad if the police saw him that he'd been drinking and dirt biking and killed the little kid.
Yeah.
Although the kid's not dead yet, just badly hurt him. I said yet, he dies. So, the
Maybe
yuppie...
he was still alive. They was trying to get help.
So they go back to the house because there's no phones, there's no cell phones in 1988. So they go to the cabin that they're staying in, and the dick...
Dark times.
The dick is already there. And so they go to call the police, and then he yanks the phone out from the cord, and he's like, I can't do it, I'm going to jail if you do that. Let it go, whatever. And there's one of the kids that's staying with the boy. And
His brother.
Yeah, his brother. And then the dad comes back, and it's like, the kid tries to tell him what happened. The dad just gives him this mean look, and puts him in his truck and starts driving for help. And goes home and he just puts him
Oh no,
down.
he didn't drive for help.
Okay, he goes to
drove
bring him home and he puts a cold towel on him. That's the medical attention that they have in the hills.
Okay. No, but he went to bring the things.
No, but he brought the kid home first.
Okay.
And then the kid died after saying daddy. And then he's very sad. And then he goes to make the delivery to the very dirty guy and,
With the dirty
and his
kids.
youngins. And meanwhile at the teen's house, the yuppie couple who really wanted to call for help and tried to punch out the dickhead biker get locked in the pantry by the biker. And that's his solution.
Yeah.
And then so Mr. Wallace is the name of the dirty guy. So they go to his encampment of other little dirty kids who are living in the woods. He makes the delivery, and then Harley says, "You know that old woman that lives in the woods that has powers?" And he's like, "Yeah, I reckon I do." And then he shows him his son's dead body, which is in the front of the car. He's like, "You got to tell me, I need her help." And he says, yeah, he refuses, and he says, "She's only gonna help you to go to hell."
I forgot to say something. When it was like, he took the boy home, so he's telling him it's gonna be okay, and then he puts some dirty towel, like water in towel, and then he put it on his face. I'm like, no, it's not gonna be okay.
Yeah.
This is not good conditions for a sick person.
Yeah.
He's gonna die. If not because of the bike, so probably because of the like
Yeah.
the dirty water.
I said that again. This is the second one in a row.
What?
I already said the dirty towel thing.
Yeah, I know, but I said he said like it's gonna be okay. And
Oh, okay. It's gonna
Go
be okay.
to my room!
It's gonna be okay. It's
no, it's not gonna be okay. I'm gonna bring my dirty water to your
It's
face.
not your room. I pay the rent. So
What?
we pay the rent.
Go to the neighbor's apartment.
Okay, you high fived. You agreed. So they dad is like he wants to see this crazy witch woman. Mr. Wallace refuses, so he starts driving away. And then one of the older youngins, whose name is Bunt, tells him that the girl's name is Haggis. She lives up on Black Ridge, and he says, "Well, you gotta come with me," and he bribes him with a crumpled $10 bill, which is the most money that Bunt has ever seen. Also, where is he gonna spend this $10 bill besides at the grocery store from Harley? But anyway, so he goes in the back of the truck. They get close to the cabin. Bunt says, "This is as far as I go." And then he goes up a little bit further, finds this creepy cabin, takes the corpse of his son, Billy, walks up to the woman.
He didn't knock, he didn't anything. He just came and
Yeah.
very rude.
You
Very
know,
rude.
you shouldn't enter in someone's house without knocking.
Yeah. Be polite.
I saw Greta did that in The Boy, and this. It's like in movies where whenever you see someone on a phone call, they never say goodbye. They just hang up. It's also very rude.
Yeah.
So.
It's like my aunt. She does that.
Really?
Yeah. She's
Is
like,
she
okay.
a movie star? Yeah.
No. No, she's just an aunt.
So Haggis tells her to go to a graveyard.
No, Haggis he doesn't know that, but probably some of you would know Baba Yaga.
Looks exactly
so
like
Baba Yaga, it's a character from the Russian culture, which I learned by Russian people. They told me that they look like Baba Yaga as a joke, but it's a creepy character that they show to kids to make them like scared. So the parents telling like the kids stories of the Baba Yaga that lives in the woods, and you don't need to go to the woods because the Baba Yaga lives there. And I feel that it's a crazy, creepy, like way to educate your kids.
Yeah.
But Russian people are strong, so I don't know. Maybe they're doing something right with it.
Yeah.
But they had like a TV show for kids with that creepy Baba Yaga. That when I first saw that character, I was like, "What? This is not for kids. This is really scary."
Yeah.
And that lady looks like Baba Yaga. She's like,
Yeah, it's just like an old witch character. That
yeah,
you
she
see in
looked
a
at
movie.
another like thing. Like she reminded me of the gypsy from Thinner. If you ever watched that.
Maybe she had
Yeah.
a bigger nose than that, but so
No, his nose was.
she
like,
gives him
cracked.
very vague instructions. Says to go to a graveyard called Razorback's Hollow, with a shovel, and you'll know what to bring back. So
I was wondering how.
So he drives up there. It's littered with pumpkins everywhere. He finds an elevated grave, and he goes up to the top of it.
Because he knows what to do.
He digs up a small body, and then meanwhile the teens are worried, and then it goes back.
Did he
Harley,
leave his son in her house in the meantime?
I think so. And then Harley goes to. He comes back with the little corpse.
With a very dramatic music in the background, obviously.
Yeah, good music. Dick Stone did a real good job. And so she cuts his hands, drips it onto the corpse, cuts Billy's hands, drips it into a bowl, and then pours it on the corpse. I don't know why it has to be in a bowl first for the dead one, but there you go. And then Dad faints, and then...
Have you ever been a witch? You shouldn't know those things.
And then the baby monster wakes and grows, and she says, "You can go now." And so Dad doesn't know what the hell just happened. Harley's driving away. His boy's still dead. His dad goes to bury him. Then they see the two teens in the woods because they're worried about what's going on in the house. There's people locked in there. Guy's being a dick. And one of the teens gets dragged out by the monster in front of a girl who's been already traumatized by this whole thing happening.
It's the monster.
Yeah. And then Dad has an episode. He starts flailing around at his house. The girl returns to the house. The yuppies have been let out. They go searching for Steve, even though she just saw him basically get murdered by a monster. I guess it's the grown-up version of the blood-dripped creature that Harley had just digging up. So Tracy gets dragged by the foot out of the house. There's a cross gouged into her face. The dead body, I guess his name was Steve, of the brother, gets thrown in front of the house. Harley continues to twitch. He goes back to the witch, drives back there, and then Maggie in the house gets pushed through the kitchen window
Oh yeah.
to her death. Gets cut up with glass. We see that happen a lot. And then Pumpkinhead, I guess that's the name of the character.
I felt it's like not the right name for that movie.
Yeah. Well, Pumpkinhead brings the girl up to a high tree and then drops her. Harley goes to the house. There's a guy in the woods who finds the kids. Harley shoots Pumpkinhead, but he's not dead. Joel, I think that's the real dick, shoots him while he's down, and then Pumpkinhead impales Joel with the shotgun, just puts it right through his body. And then this is a classic horror movie thing, where like a random man in the woods, or a random character just shows up to intervene, and he has a dog. And the dog, for some reason, attacks Harley. Did you see any of this?
No.
So,
that was the part that I fell asleep.
So
I'm just like you right now, guys.
So the dog
It's
attacks
interesting.
Harley, bites him in the arm, and then we see that Pumpkinhead is in
I think I
pain.
remember something.
Pumpkinhead is in pain, so we
Yeah,
make
yeah.
the connection that because of
that's
his
what we-
blood, if you attack Harley or hurt Harley, Pumpkinhead, that's the only way to hurt him.
Yeah.
And so one of the teens are running through the woods, and they bang on the door of the cabin of the youngins. Dad won't let them in, very reminiscent about the early part of the movie. And he says something like, "It only kills what it's called upon to kill." And then Bunt, the head youngin that brought Harley up to the Haggis's cabin, sneaks out the window and decides he's going to help the teens. And he tells his sister to keep quiet about it. And then he explains the legend of Pumpkinhead and how it was conjured if someone does something bad to another. And the teens are like, "Oh, we did something bad? Oh, yeah." And then there's a storm that goes on whenever Pumpkinhead goes by. So you can kind of know when he's coming. And as the kids are in the Harley's house, he hurts some yuppies. Dad tries to get the flamethrower. he hurts his arm, and then he notices that pitchfork stabs him through the arm, and he notices Pumpkinhead is like, so he makes the connection, so he knows what the viewer already knows, that if Pumpkinhead is the only way to hurt him is by hurting Harley because of the blood. So he knows what he has to do. Shoots himself in the side of the head, but it's a grazing, but he doesn't want to kill himself. He just wants to really hurt Pumpkinhead, so he does that. Probably deafened
He shot himself in the head.
Yeah.
And then he got up and started to walk.
Yeah, and the girl is trying to use the flamethrower on Pumpkinhead.
I remember that part because I even wrote it.
Yeah, to no avail.
I wrote it like a sleepy way, like he shot his head.
Oh yeah, it's all
outside
the lines.
Yeah.
And so Pumpkinhead grabs Bunt. The girl figures out that Harley, if he shot himself in the head, and that's why Pumpkinhead has a wound. So she shoots Harley multiple times, and then bursts into flames. And so that's how Pumpkinhead has died, because Harley got shot. And then the epilogue is that the old woman,
the Baba Yaga,
Haggis, picks up the corpse, which is, I think it's Harley's corpse, because it's like his head shape. And Pumpkinhead has been burned up.
It's not, what?
It's the corpse of the guy, but it's like shrunken down.
It's the father, because he had the...
Oh, the necklace.
The necklace that the
But his
kid
head
gave
is
him.
also like Lance Henriksen's head shape. So she brings him to the pumpkin patch that Harley
She's very strong.
had dug him up
Very
from.
strong old lady.
Yeah, we don't see her driving a truck or anything.
Yeah, she just like,
gets
carry
there.
him like
Maybe
all
she
the
did
way.
Maybe she called it an Uber or something, and so she buries him there in the pumpkin patch, and that sets up for Pumpkinhead 2, which I put on the list, but I don't think we're gonna watch it because there's other movies to watch.
Yeah, if you have any ideas or suggestions, we're still in the middle of the list, so you still have time. I thought that I didn't like the kids part that they're killing the boy. I felt really sad, really sad. I was like, no.
Yeah, but
that's not fun. I like horror movies that you're not getting very attached to the people that dead. And 6 years old kid, that was really rough.
Yeah, but that's what started the whole thing. He would never have gone there.
Sad.
He would have watched the movie if that kid didn't die. So
yeah, that's true.
So he died, and it was fine.
But it was very sad.
Yeah, but that's what
so
puts you
sweet.
through. That's what horror movies are about. They're not just
such
killing
a sweet kid.
teens that you don't like. You're not supposed to be on the side of the Jasons and Freddys. I mean, it's different now, but I don't know. I thought it was good. It was pretty classic, told 80s horror story. I wish I saw it when I was a kid, but if I did, we wouldn't have been recapping it now.
We're gonna find the Baba Yaga episode, and we're gonna recap that too.
Yeah.
As a special bonus.
So yeah, thanks for watching.
Subscribe, follow, listen to us on SoundCloud.
Yeah, Yael Matt recap, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook.
And don't forget, don't be bad kids.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna come to you.
Don't dirt bike around old grocery stores.
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.